Hi, my dear 10th standard students. Already we have seen something about the plants in the previous classes. Now we are going to enter into the zoological part of science. Okay, so our environment is having a lot of plants and animals. Already you know that the plants are differ from the animals because of their nature and their morphological characters. The animal kingdom is widely classified into the invertebrate and the chordate, as I already you studied in your ninth standard. The kingdom Animalia can be classified into the invertebrates and the chordates. The invertebrates are having the 9 phylums. The chordate is having the prochordate and the vertebrates. The prochordate is the 3 classes, that means of cephalochordata, hemichordata, and urochordata. The vertebrate is having a 5 main classes, that is the fishes, amphibian, reptiles, aves, and mammalia. Okay, so these are the basic classification for the animal kingdom. Now we are going to study about a 2 case study of invertebrate as well as the vertebrate. Today class, I want to explain something about the Indian cartilage. The Indian cartilage, the scientific name is Hirudinaria granulosa. Hirudinaria granulosa. This Hirudinaria granulosa is commonly called as zoological name or scientific name. When we write the zoological name, we have to use the 2 names. One is genus name, another one is species name. The genus and the species names are underlined, and also it is a basic rule to write the binomial name. So the Hirudinaria granulosa, the Hirudinaria and the Hirudin is a kind of an enzyme present in the particular animal. Hence, these call it as Hirudinaria. Okay. So now we can see one by one about Hirudinaria granulosa. First of all, we have to understand what is the taxonomic position of the Indian cartilage. The phylum Annelida, the class Hirudinea, the order Gnathobellida, the genus Hirudinaria, species Granulosa. That means of the phylum Annelida. All the worms, especially in the roundworms, comes under the phylum Annelida. Okay, this is the basic taxonomical position for Indian cartilage. Here we can see one by one the habit and the habitat. The habit and habitat, that nothing but it is a habit, means it is a behavior of the animal. Habitat means the living area of the animal. So what is the first we can see the habitat. This Indian cartilage found in all over country like in Bangladesh, India, and so on. Second one is a freshwater one. It is not present in the marine water. It is only present in the fresh water. Third one, it is ectoparasite. That is a habit of the leech. Okay. Generally, the parasites are classified into the ectoparasite and endoparasite. The ectoparasite mean the parasite can live outer of the host. The endoparasite mean live inside of the host. What is the meaning of the parasite? The parasite mean a animal or an organism can get the food from other resource. It is called it as parasite. So those who are giving the food, it is called as a host. Which one is getting the food from the host? It is called it as parasite. So that is a ectoparasite because it lives outside of the host. Next, it is called as sanguivorous. What is the meaning of sanguivorous? The sanguivorous nothing but it is a blood sucking animal. What is the main food of this animal? The blood is the main predominant food for the animal. So it is suck the blood from the host. Hence, we are calling it as this is a sanguivorous animal. Okay, so that is a basic habit and habitat for Indian cattle. So we should know about the external morphology of this animal, because the morphology is an important phenomena to classify the animals. Okay, so what is the meaning of the morphology? The logi means study, the morpho means appearance. The study about the appearance, it is called as morphology. Okay, the external morphology means the study about the external appearance of the animal. It is called as external morphology. It is very important thing, because you can take or you can study one animal, you should understand their morphological characters. You can take the dog, you can take the cat, it is entirely differ from one another, but they are comes under the same family. Okay, so because of the similarities and dissimilarities, it leads a correct species arrangement. Okay, so So that's why we can study about the external morphology of the animal. Come, let's know about that. The shape and size. The shape and size, it is very, very important. So shape and size, that means of the body is a leech, is a very soft, the wormy form, elongated and segmented. It becomes a ribbon shape when extended and almost cylindrical when contracted. The leeches may grow to a length of 35 centimeter. We can see the shape and size. The body of leech is very soft, it's a wormy form. It is elongated and segmented. Why do we call this as a very soft? Because it is a kind of a worm. So the worm does not have any skeleton structure. So it is look like very soft in condition and is elongated because due to their locomotion they can be moved from one another by their contraction and the relaxation of their muscles. So it is very, very elongated and segmented also. The body is having a lot of segments. It is a metamerically animal. So it is having the even arrangement of the segments. Next, we can see about the coloration. We should understand the terminology of the animals. What is that? Here, the olive green in the dorsal surface, the orange yellow in the ventral surface. I mentioned that. So, what is the meaning of the dorsal side? We can take the animal. Look, listen, my dear. This is an animal. Okay, just imagine that this is an animal. This is called as a dorsal. This is called a dorsal. This is called a ventral side. This is called dorsal side. This is called a ventral side. This is called an anterior. That means that this is an anterior side. This is a posterior side. Okay, that is a terminology. Dorsal side, ventral side, anterior side, and the posterior side. If the animal is having any holes, any hole, that is called as aperture. Okay, so the dorsal surface is olive green in color and the ventral surface is orange yellow or orange red in color. I already told about the worms, that means of the leech worm is a fully segmented bodied animal. It is a metamerically segmented, that means of the serially arrangement of the segments. The body of leech is metamerically divided into 33 segments. The segments are arranged one behind each other. Each segment is further superficially subdivided into rings or annuli. So these rings or annuli is very, very important feature present over the leech. A temporary clitellum is formed on segments 9 to 11, which is meant to produce a cocoon during the breeding season. I need to explain about the clitellum formation. Okay, side of the leech. So how the clitellum is formed? In ninth to 11th segment, these segments are bulging. The segments are bulging. The segments are bulging. This is just like that, bulging. That is called it as clitellum. That is called as clitellum. When the clitellum is formed, when the leech is producing the cocoon. Cocoon. What is the cocoon? It's a young one, the egg of the leech. Okay, so this young one can be produced by this kind of a worm. It is called a cocoon stage. Next, we can see the receptors. So, the receptors is a very, very important thing present in the animal. In human beings, we have developed some 5 receptors. What are they? The eyes, the nose, the mouth, that means of tongue, the ears, and the skin. Okay, so we can feel some feelings when it is elevated from the environment. You can go to the garden, we can feel the breeze, how it is because of our skin. Okay, that's why this animal is having a peculiar receptor. Okay, so what is the first receptor? The eye is the first receptor. The eye present in the leech, the first 5 segments of their bodies. It is a 5 pair of eyes. That means of the 10 eyes. Okay, the 5 pair of eyes present in the leech in the first 5 segments. Okay, and each segment bears a number of sensory projections called receptors. The annular receptors are located in each annulus, and the segmental receptors are located on the first annulus of each segment. The annular receptor is present near the annulus. Okay, so it is help to observe and help to understand the environmental factors, and also it can be used for their locomotion. Next one is suckers. The suckers, what is the meaning of suckers? Suckers அப்படின்னா உரிகிறது, உறிஞ்சு கொள்றது அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். The suckers, the leech has two suckers. The suckers located at the anterior end is called as anterior sucker or oral sucker. And the posterior sucker is formed in the fusion of the last 7 segment. It is present in the last segments of the leech. Okay. So this anterior and posterior sucker is used for locomotion, because the leech is not move like a snake. Okay, it is not like a snake. It can be moved from one area to another area by their contraction and relaxation of their muscles. So these suckers help to locomote from one area to another area. We are going to see the important feature about the leech, because I already told about the 4 terminology. What is the dorsal, ventral, and the anterior, and the posterior, and aperture. The aperture, it's nothing, it is a kind of a hole. Okay, so we are going to see how many holes are present over the lead surface. Okay, so we can see the external apertures. External apertures. Apertures mean holes. The first one is the mouth, anus, the nephridiophores, the male genital fore, and the female genital fore. I repeat the apertures: the mouth, anus, nephridiophores, the male genital fours, and the female genital fours. You know well about the mouth. What is the mouth? The mouth is used for sucking. Okay, so it's a sanguivorous animal. It can be suck the blood from the host. So this mouth can be used to suck the blood from the host. This mouth is lies the mid portion of the leech in the anterior sucker. Okay, mouth. Then anus mean it is the kind of apertures can be helped to excrete the waste material. The nephridiophores mean the nephridia, that means of it is a excretory organ. In human beings, the kidney is an excretory organ to eliminate the waste body. So that is a excretory organ of human beings. Here it's not a well defined animal. It is a very simpler animal. The instead of kidney, it is having the nephridiophores for elimination of the waste material. Then fourth one is a male genital fore. It is a reproductive fore because it is a hermaphrodite. The male and female organs present in the same animal. It is a bisexual animal. So it can be exchange their gametes into another organism. That means of another same species of an organism. So it is having the male genital fore as well as a female genital force. Now we can see the one by one where these apertures are found in the animals. The mouth is located in the middle of the anterior sucker. So the anus is a small aperture that opens on the mid dorsal side of 26th segment. The nephridiophores. The nephridia opens to the exterior by 17 pairs of nephridiophores. They lie ventrally on the last annulus of each segment from 6 to 22. Then male genital fore, it is a mid-ventral opening situated between the second and the third annuli of 10th segment. The female genital fore, it lies mid-ventrally between second and third annuli of 11th segment. Okay, dear students, so this is the external apertures present over the leech. Okay, my dear student, we can summarize to that. First of all, we seen about the animal kingdom. So what are the main divisions of the animal kingdom? Next, we can see the Hydroneria granulosa is commonly called as an Indian cattle leech. Why do we use the zoological name for each and every organism? Next, we can see one by one for the Indian cattle leech, that their binomial description and their shape and size, that means of external morphology, and their shape and size and coloration, and their habits, habitat, and their external apertures. Okay, so thank you, students. We can see the next class within another topic.